To all the dads and to all the moms out there holding it down and doing double duties. Hopefully you guys had an amazing, amazing weekend. And for me, it was just an opportunity for me just to slow down and just spend time just hanging out with the kids. We went to the park, we did the swings, we made food. Amanda and I took a sunset ride on the Vespa. Like everything that like was the simplest meant the most to us. And so that was really cool. So all the dads out there, hopefully you guys had an amazing, amazing weekend. You guys were filled with love and you guys were filled with gratitude because you all deserve it. And to all your the moms out there doing double duties, I see you guys out there making a difference in the baby's lives. So let's do this, you guys. If you can, once again, I'm going to encourage everyone to get their cameras on this beautiful morning. I want to see your faces. I want to have some, a stream of consciousness here this morning, and I want to be able to see your smiling faces. All right, so Sarah Long, you're here, you're ready, you always have your camera on. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. So without further ado, Sarah Long, let's go ahead and turn the mic over to you and let's bring the troops out on the field. Yep, that's you.
Yeah, I know. My 4-month-old is like, I'll do it. Like just now finding his vocal cords. He's just like all about shrieking and shrilling and just massive. So he's doing it too. So I think bringing out on the field is just saying good morning, everyone. And I don't know, for me personally, I'm brand new. And I just love everyone's energy so much. And especially Elias, the way that you lead the team. And I'm just very grateful to be here. And the way I always look at it is every morning I wake up, I'm like, okay, how can I do a little bit better? Like, okay, yes, I got Jack in the Box last night and I got a milkshake and I ate it at like 10 p.m. But this morning, you know what? Maybe I'm going to eat clean today. That's a true story. Refresher today, fresh start no matter what.
All right, we lost you a little bit. I heard Jack in the Box. And I heard you're going to wake up and make some better choices today.
Yeah, like every day is a fresh start. So no matter what happened yesterday, today is a fresh start, fresh week, and just give it your best. That's what I always tell myself every morning. So that's what I'm putting out there for you guys.
Good. I love it. I am on an intense workout routine until we go to Mexico. And there's days, you make an excuse, you got busy, whatever the case is, but I am like, I got an app, I got accountability. Like the man is like, well, I want to do that with you. So we're just going to dive in every single day until Mexico and then beyond. So I hear you, Sarah, and let's go ahead and get rolling. You guys, before we get started, seeing as we're on the day after Father's Day, I just wanted to open this up, and I want to hear from 3 people today. If you've never spoken on group coaching, I would love to hear from you. I wanted to hear from somebody today. What's been or what was in your life some of the best advice that you received from your father? And I thought this was powerful because when I think back, some of like the best coaches in our life were our fathers. And so I wanted to see, like, is there something that your father told you sometime in your life? Like, I'm sure there's many, right? But was there one thing that always stood out to you that Pop said to you that has always stood the test of time? Does anybody have something that they want to share? Does anybody want to share a father quote with us today? I want 3 people to contribute on this. All right, cool. Nicole Penland, let's hear it. If the audio's not good, I'm going to go to somebody else, but let's hear it.
So when I was in high school, I ran track, and my father is very, very competitive. And I feel like that kind of like prepared me, had my pep talks before my races kind of prepared me for life. But he would always say, like, show no mercy, take no prisoners. Like, don't take no for an answer. It's yours, so go get it. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Some of the best coaches in the world. I love this. Who else, you guys? Let's hear from 2 other people. Who has a dadism, a quote from Pops? Let's hear Danielle Martinez. Danielle Martinez, if you would, please put your camera on while you contribute, and then you can put it back off. Let's hear from you.
Sorry, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to raise my hand.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Who else has one? I need 2 more people to contribute on this topic. Come on. Nobody's dad has something great that they told them growing up?
Well, I'll contribute.
All right, Adrian,
hi guys, good morning. So my dad raised me when my parents divorced. When my parents divorced, I was about 5 years old. So he raised me and my brother. But he let me make my own decisions. I was really independent growing up. I cleaned, cooked rice. So I was like the woman in the household because it was me and my brother, my older brother, and my dad. So he let me make my choices. He let me fuck up a lot of times, a lot of times. And I had an older brother, so everyone went to our house and we partied and we knew what time my dad was coming. So I just have a lot of good memories with my dad. He raised me and made me this independent woman that I am today. So
I love this.
that's what I wanted to
absolutely love it.
contribute.
Awesome. And let's hear from one other person. Let's hear from, somebody that has a dad as a best life coach. There was something from Pops. Let's hear Otis White. Let's hear from you, big dog.
Oh, okay. It wasn't so much really my pops, but I called him Pops. He was my football coach growing up in Pop Warner in high school. He'd always tell us that everything that we're doing, we're laying our foundation, and the foundation is the yellow brick road. So if you ever get lost off of your road, just look back and see the highlighted yellow brick road from everything that we learned and every mistake that we made and everything that we've overcome.
I love this. I love this.
So follow the, we still say that shit today. Follow the yellow brick road.
Yes, I love it. I mean, some of the best thing my pops ever told me is that when you get in a fight with somebody that was bigger than you, punch them right in the throat. He said, if you ever fight somebody that's bigger than you, you punch them right in the throat. And I remember being 15 years old and I got in a fight with a grown man. He was like almost 30. And I punched the dude right in the neck. So in life, go after the biggest dude, punch him straight in the neck. Look at Colette shaking her head. So, many things that my pops told me, but I just want to hear from you. So Colette, you had taken yourself off of mute really quick. Did you want to chime in on the topic?
Sure. Yeah. My dad, born 11/11/11. Okay. He's been gone a long time now, but that's my lucky number. And he was my dude, I just, my hero, my superhero, my black man superhero with a third grade education, denied an education back in deep, dirty South in Louisiana back in the day. Him and his sisters were acting up and they kicked him and all his siblings out of school and they never got to go back. So, little education, but tons of wisdom, life wisdom. And
Yes.
always told me I could do whatever I put my mind to. So whenever I see that 11/11 on the clock, that's my dad telling me to get my shit together.
Right. That's right. Colette, I appreciate you sharing, really do. I'll tell you what, guys, we'll move off the dad topic, but I'm obviously filled with tremendous levels of gratitude right now. For me, I've done many things in my life, super proud of many things in my life, but nothing has brought me more joy than being a parent and being a step parent. And so really, really grateful for today. Just want to share that with you. And thank you guys for sharing some of your history with your father. So need everyone to get a pen and a piece of paper out. If you guys are not driving, or if you are driving, or if you're on a walk, like I see Nicole, like I see Colette, and you guys aren't able to do this now, then come back to this later. But once a month, I want to focus on this, and it's going to be at random times. We're going to talk about doing a massive brain dump. And why it's important to do this on a Monday, because Monday for a lot of us, is, it symbolizes a new start, a fresh week, new intentions. Whatever happened last week is behind us. Let's go ahead and start with the new week. So I want you guys to do a massive brain dump. And we've done this before, but I want to do this while we're all on the screen together. And if you guys want to share, cool. If you don't want to share, that's okay. So the massive brain dump starts like this. You have a giant box on a piece of paper. Just make a box. It's no rhyme or reason. Just make the massive brain dump box bigger than the other boxes. In that, I want you to start dumping out everything that is on your mind. Oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to call this. I got to get my LLC started. I got to do my S Corp. I got to do this. I got to call. I want to do a mastermind. All these things that occupy space in our mind, I want you guys to put that down on paper. Write every Sorry. So I want you guys to do a massive, massive brain dump. I want you guys to write down all the stuff, right? And there's literally, if you guys do this, you guys are going to fill your paper up with so many things that are on your mind. We've done this and I've done this live before. I want to do this again with you guys. So I want you guys to do a massive brain dump. On the second side, on the right side, I want you to put focus action items, and that's another box. Now that box is obviously going to be significantly smaller. What are the things that you truly, truly need to focus on this week, right? There's tons of things that need to be done. There's tons of things that are going to be in your massive brain dump, but I want you to really, really get honed in on what your focus action items are for just this week. Lastly, you're going to have another box, and it's going to be a small box as well. And in that box, you're going to put items to delegate. What are the things that I can delegate this week to a VA? What are things that I'm doing right now that I don't really enjoy doing? Are there admin tasks that you guys want to do that you do, or that you have to do that you don't really want to do, that you could essentially delegate to somebody else? Right? So massive brain dump. This is where you guys are just releasing. I think that writing every single week should be a normal practice for everybody, because something happens when you take it from here, and you put it to the paper. Get it all out, because there's tons and tons of shit going on in your crazy, crazy minds. I know it because my mind is just as crazy. Then really focus on what your action items are for this week. And then lastly, make sure that you guys are writing down who you guys can delegate these tasks to. So that is the exercise. If you guys have time to do it while we're on group coaching, cool. I want to come full circle on this once we are done. And then anybody that wants to share, are you okay? You got scratched? Okay. I love you, okay? Give me a high five. Okay, Bubba. All right, so that's the first thing for this morning. Now, I want to ask a couple people on this call right now, and I'm going to go over to Adrian, and then I'm going to come to you next, Bria. So be on alert, because I'm coming to you guys. All right. So Adrian Reliza, I want to ask you a really quick question. 3 questions actually. What do you believe your superpower in business is? That's number 1. Things that you don't love in business, right? And that's for us. That's probably an easy one for a lot of us. And then things that you procrastinate on right now in your business. So full stream of consciousness. Let's just be open and honest with each other, because this is how we all improve. So Adrian, let's go to you. What is your superpower? Things you don't love about the business right now, and things that you procrastinate on. Let's hear from you.
My superpower, oh man, I don't even know. Like trying to stay consistent, trying to stay consistent.
All right, so I believe this. If you know your superpower, there's no try around it. There's no try. Like you are like my superpower is consistency. My superpower is energy. My superpower is passion, energy, enthusiasm. That's not a try. You just know it. So what is your true superpower in this business?
I try to stay connected with, I try to keep it real with people, try to, I don't know. I feel kind of lost right now in my life, to be honest.
No, you know what? Hey, listen, I didn't know that, and I appreciate you sharing, and you know, you and I can connect offline too after group coaching, but I appreciate you saying that, right? Like for all of us, when I ask the question, what is my superpower? Like that's really where you feel you're strongest in this business, right? And like I want everyone to get honed in on that. And if it's just the thought of the idea right now, and then you really start to evaluate your life and business, Adrian, I really appreciate you saying that. So let's go to the things that you don't love in the business right now. What are things about this business that you don't love? You're muted again. Oh, there you are.
Okay, there you go. I don't like the uncertainty of the business. I mean, you really do have to keep it going. You have to keep your postcards, your marketing, your getting on the camera going. If you don't, like it, you know, you just don't know when your business is coming. So you always have to, you know, keep connected with the people in your database, whether that's emails, whether that's calls. And to be honest, I haven't been doing that. I need to show up in my business. I've been really bad in my business. My dad just died. And to be honest, if we're keeping it real right now, I am separated from my husband right now. So I really need to show up in my business right now. And right now I am procrastinating on a lot of my business. I'm not showing up. I haven't been doing my videos like I used to. And I love doing my videos. So when we had that meeting, like I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, about the things in your life, if you're not aligned with things in your life, it's going to show up in your business, and it's showing up in my business right now. So
wow. You guys, let's send some love, some light, some energy to Adrienne, because I had no idea. And first things first, from a stance of pure empathy, like, I am with you, I understand you, and I am here for you, anything that you need. And I know that, look around, there are, 50 plus people that are on this call that are here for support. What I will tell you from all those years of experience is that when it's the hardest to be consistent, that's when, like, there's true growth in it. It's like, man, things are really, really tough in personal life. But the great thing about that is that this is just a season. Things will get better, even though if it's difficult to see. And we've all been through this. So Adrienne, like, my heart goes out to you. And hopefully in the coming weeks, I can, and we can, help you move past any challenges that you're having. And Adrienne, I really, really appreciate the vulnerability and sharing. I had no idea that that's what her answer was going to be, but something told me to call on her. So Adrienne, we're here for you, and I'm in your corner. Anything I can do to help provide some support. Bria, let's go over to you. So Bria, question to you, and it's hard to segue, but I have to. It's hard to segue to the next person, but Bria, I want to ask you right now, what is your superpower in business?
I would say my superpower in business is showing up for my people. I love to be that right-hand man. Whenever you need help, I'll put a smile on my face and help you. If you need someone to lean on, I'm there. And that goes for any of you, whether it's my colleagues, my clients. And it kind of contradicts the things I don't like in business, because with that, I would say I very much do love my own personal space. There's like a social cutoff, like right there. I know when it happens.
Okay.
So yeah, when it comes to like networking and stuff, it could be a tough feat, but you got to do it. You got to put yourself out there. You can't be a silent realtor, as Cynthia says. So
yes, I love this. I love this. And what are some things that you procrastinate on right now in your business?
In my business, yeah, I would still say it's my procrastination, my self-discipline, my consistency, which are, yeah, some heavy hitters, but still working on it. And yeah, definitely need some accountability partners on my side and still remember my why. And that's what's kind of pushing me today.
Man, I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. Let's hear from a couple other people. Nkosi, let's go over to you, big dog. What do you believe your superpower is right now in business?
Superpower right now, I'd say just to be able to identify, some technology gaps and putting that experience where I can and leverage that as best I can and organize my systems as best as I can.
All right, so let's go from the top one more time. What is your superpower?
Tech, just being able to identify gaps within the technology. Yeah.
Good, man. I love it. And what are some things that you don't love about this business right now?
I wouldn't say I don't love, maybe a growing pain, just being able to consistently, well, not really consistently, but just being able to talk with everybody, between, newer agents, your partners, vendors, just, being able to develop those relationships as best you can.
What are some things that you believe that you're procrastinating on right now?
Maybe not on my agent side, but maybe on my 9 to 5 side, just like on some certifications, like I have dwelling that I need to kind of finish, but I've really just been focused on, becoming an agent and kind of solidifying that.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Appreciate it. And how do you improve and strengthen on the areas where you feel that you need the most guidance?
Practice, consistently practice and put in the time in, really, blocking that time out on GCal and getting it done.
Love it. Love it, man. I appreciate you sharing. Let's hear from one other person on this topic, and then we're going to move forward. I'm actually going to call on, let's go to Carlos Sandoval. How you doing, big dog? Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing good.
Good, brother. All right, man. So let's hear it from you right now. What is your superpower in business?
I feel like I'm really good at like researching and looking up houses and trying to find houses for people and trying to get the comps and figure out like a good offer to put in.
Okay, so let's identify what that is. Actually, resourcefulness. Do you believe that your superpower is your resourcefulness?
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay, all right. What things that you don't love about the business right now?
Just the uncertainty, right? And always trying to have to find some new clients, and then kind of working with some clients sometimes, and then sometimes they end up ghosting you, and then that kind of puts you down. So, and that kind of when that happens, it kind of everything kind of pushes everything down for you, right? Like then you gotta kind of hype yourself up again, like
Okay.
you know what, it happened, but you just gotta push through it.
What is the and I think we all know this answer. How do you combat uncertainty in business? What is the number one solution to combat uncertainty in business when things are like this and clients ghost you? What is the number one way to combat that?
I don't know, just gotta stay consistent, keep pushing through.
Stay consistent with what?
With your prospecting, with your calls.
And that's it, literally. I promise you this, every single one of you will lose a client. But if it's that one client, you're hanging on to it, you've wrote it down, like, oh my God, when we find a house, they're searching for 800,000. I'm going to make $22,000. I'm going to pay my taxes and I'm going to walk away with 12 G's. Yes. And then all of a sudden, guess what? That client leaves your life. And then you're like, oh, like I'm panicked. What do? I was counting on that person, right? Well, if I got 5, 6, 7, 10 other people stacked in line, yeah, it hurts, but it hurts a lot less because you've got so many people that you've prospected. That is the solution to everything. The way that we grow as a company is that we continue to attract talented agents like you. The moment that we stop attracting agents is the moment that we are going to be in trouble as a company. It is the same thing for you. The way to drive your business initiatives is to continue prospecting. So you could lose one, you could lose two, and it doesn't hit as hard. So Carlos, I appreciate you saying that, bro. I really, really appreciate you saying that. So let me ask you a question. How do you strengthen and how do you improve right now on things that you feel that you have some gaps in?
Just got to keep working harder, right? Just got to keep prospecting, got to stay consistent. That's another thing. Like I feel like sometimes when something happens, you kind of pull back, but no, you just got to push through and stay consistent.
God, I love this. And I know Eric King is probably chomping at the bit on this one. How many people, and let me get a reaction down below. How many people at any stage of their career in real estate have struggled with consistency? Be honest. Yeah, like that's okay. But I want to make correlations for you guys. Why are we in a group? We're in a group because of the collective wisdom, the things that we hear and the things that we share. What somebody says is their superpower, one of you might have said that I don't really love those things. And maybe those are the two people that need to be connecting. Somebody might said, I procrastinate on this, but I'm really, really good on this. Well, wait a minute. Adrienne procrastinates on something that I love to do. Maybe I should reach out to her and like we should sync up, right? That should be my accountability person. So it's about like hearing what people are saying in their experiences, being like, you know what? That's something I want to improve on. Let's like put the pieces together in our business. You have so many people around you, you can just start putting these puzzle pieces together. Adrienne, is that a new hand or is that an old hand? Old hand? Okay, cool. So Eric, I want you to chime in on this, brother. I know that your mind is probably spinning. You probably got some thoughts going on in your mind. So Eric King, let's hear from you, big dog.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Morning, sir. Bro, you look
What's that?
just like your dad.
I do.
Yeah, bro.
I think that's how it goes. So we're talking about as far as like being consistent, and I feel you know, I mean, you know what's going to happen when you work with buyers is you're going to get ghosted no matter what, whether it's an online lead, open house lead, even friends. I have some fucking motherfucker friends that wanted to buy a house with me, and we had a buyer consultation. I showed them homes. And these motherfuckers don't have the audacity to tell me like, hey, dude, we're going to take a break. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? I deserve the respect like for you to at least tell me like you're going to take a break, like a fucking respectful human being. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's going to happen, and it's going to happen all the time. And I think the only way to really combat that, like Elias said, is to be consistent in your prospecting where you have a full pipeline, right? You got to focus on your pipeline, right? And for those that have attended my level 11 sessions or the role play sessions or had coaching with me, you guys know that I categorize my buyers, A buyers, B buyers, C buyers, D buyers, right? 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months. And that way, by categorizing your buyers that way, you can kind of prioritize who needs to be touched and who needs to be focused on, right? So if you have 0 to 3 month buyers that are pre-approved and ready to put offers in, hell, that's the people I'm going to be checking in 2-3 times a week, right? So the point I'm trying to make is you want to build up that pipeline so that when your A buyers buy, your B buyers are ready to go to the A spot and so on and so forth so that you can keep your pipeline full. And the only way you can keep your pipeline full is to prospect, right? Open houses, door knocking, making calls, right? We have 15,000 leads in our lead quant, right? We also have access to Ojo, Opcity, Flex, right? So there's all these different lead sources. So I think that's key. And I think the way I was able to build my business pretty rapidly was through just prospecting. You know, I spent at least an hour making phone calls every day. And it showed for it, right? So what you do now is going to show up in 3 months too. That's something else that I want to, and it's so true. And for those that have coached with me before, I showed you my spreadsheet of my production of last year, and it's like January, killer month, right? I have like 4 or 5 escrows going, and then February, March comes around, I got nothing. Why? Because in January, when I was busy, I wasn't prospecting because I was trying to manage my escrows, right? So February, March is struggling, and then because I don't have much going on those months, guess what I'm doing? I'm prospecting, right? So then April, May, June, super awesome months, and then it goes again, right? So you hit your peaks and then you hit your valleys. So I think in order for you to stay consistent, you have to stay consistent, and that's really it.
I love it. Yeah, that's the remedy to everything. I'm really, really glad that we're having this conversation. Ernesto, I want to shift gears for a quick second, you guys, and we've been talking about this, for the last couple of weeks. There's 2 ways to think about where we're at in the market, and you hear a lot of people that are really like panic stricken. You know why? Because they're not prepared, right? And I saw something that you were reading, Ernesto. I don't know what book it is, but I just took a screenshot of it and I want to share this. You guys, every single market, there's going to be a winner. I've said this over and over and over again. It is about your ability to truly, truly master the dialogue about what's happening in the market, right? If you cannot articulate that and you do not believe, you're going to get lost in this business. You're going to be one of the 25 to 30% of people that leave this business in the next year. That's what's going to happen. But the ones that are truly, truly able to control that narrative, those are the people that are going to win, because no matter what happens, things are going to change. Things are going to shift. And I want to share this with you. You guys probably saw this. I don't know whose Instagram I saw this on, but I wanted to share this with you. Let me go here and let me pull this up. How many people saw this this image on social yesterday? Anybody see this? All right, so let me make this a little bit larger. I think I stole this from Melody's page and Kenny's page, but it says here, we live in such a culture that we expect everything to be handed to us. We are a professional agent. Understand your industry before you start being a chicken little and yelling at the sky is falling because of interest rates. Stay in control and focus on giving great service. The shit will weed itself out. And it goes through history, not history, it goes through from 1974, and it shows the influx of rates down, high, all the way to the 18%, 16%, back down, so on and so forth. So you know that this business is cyclical. What we need to do is we need to I need everyone to be quiet. So when you look at the business, everything is going to go in cycles. So you just have to control the messaging in order for a consumer to realize that this is the right person. This is the person that's going to help me navigate through this. This is the person that's going to educate me. So if you guys aren't aware of this, if you don't know this, if you haven't seen this, it really struck a nerve with me because I'm like, you know what? I never panic about seasonality, because I know that the remedy to this is that we keep on prospecting, that we keep moving forward, and then we keep on finding new opportunities. So Mel, you shared this on your social, right? I think I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I did.
Mel, sorry, your
This
audio.
market.
You're cut your camera because your audio is so bad.
Oh, hold on. Okay, better.
Try a little bit.
Hello, can you
Yeah.
guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So I think it's really interesting. A lot of agents are on social media right now talking about the market shift, the market shift. The market isn't shifting. The market has shifted. Okay. It's already a different market than it was last quarter, last year, 2 years ago. I have listing agents calling me right now, begging me to bring them an offer. And so we need to educate ourselves on what's going on in this market. And it's crazy that people are still buying houses at like a 13% interest rate. But let them know that pre-election, the rates were really low. We're going through another mid-year election here soon. Rates are going to adjust themselves because the president is going to try to alleviate some of these pain points that the United States economy is feeling. So right now it's a peak in rates. Will it always be there? No, it will definitely come back down. And at that point you can refinance your rate and get a lower rate. But what is the cost between you waiting for rates to go down and having the value of homes continue to appreciate, and you waiting until next year to buy, or for the market to crash, or from some superficial thing that may or may not happen later on in the future? Because one thing that we know for sure, home values will always appreciate, especially in California, especially in the Bay Area. And they appreciate by about 4% a year. Real estate investments outbeat any type of cryptocurrency, any type of stocks. So we need to sit there and we need to get excited about this market and excited about the opportunities out there, because even though rates have gone up a little bit, the buyers have a chance to get into that dream neighborhood, to get into that dream home. And they didn't before. They're not up against 32 offers with 60 disclosure packets out in Maxwell Park. Like, that's not the market that we're in anymore. And, you know, the media is going to try to shove some stupid, bullshit down your throat to try to feed, fear into you. And you need to take ownership of the narrative, and you need to, watch what you're saying to your buyers and help them understand and educate them at a very high level of what exactly is going on. And so
Right.
I think, this is something we all need to start talking about more on social media.
You guys, and I appreciate your insight, Mel. This is a time where mastery of your messaging is super important, you guys. I know I've said this over and over again, but I will continue to say it. And then we're going to go to a mastery class in Vegas. If you haven't got your tickets, go to that. It's the sales mastery class with Bill Pipes. Anyways, we're going to talk about that even more when we're there. And then when we come back, we're going to have this conversation. So messaging is everything, not only about the market, but about how you are conveying to a consumer how they would feel safe if they were to ever choose to work with you. And Ernesto's reading a book right now, and I forgot the name of the book, but I took a screenshot of it, and I want to lean to you in a moment, Ernesto, to give your thoughts and insight on the messaging. So this came directly from the page out of the book. It said, most real estate advertising is ridiculous because agents lean on "I'm number one" messaging. They focus the attention on themselves, not their potential clients, because they can't actually create marketing that will truly strike a chord with people. Follow me on this one. People don't care about you, they care about themselves. Get over yourself and stop being so self-glorifying. Hearing you talk about how great you are and how many awards you've won doesn't solve your ideal client's problem. That they are terrified that they won't be able to find a house before their move out date, or that their marriage won't actually survive the time it takes to find a said house. I thought that was powerful. The messaging and the message that we're putting out on social, I think for a lot of us, it just needs to be refined. And so Ernesto, I want to lean to you, bro. I love how much reading you do, how introspective you are. So thoughts on what you're reading right now and like what you took away from that, because I just watched your story. I was like, oh man, that's good shit. I want to share that.
Two things. The book you're referring to, it just came in yesterday and I crushed it in one reading. It was so good. It's called Building the Seven-Figure Agent. But the point is less hustle, more money. She's my social media coach. I'm not done with her program because it's so much work, but her whole thing is, it's not about running ads. It's what do your ads say? What does your messaging say? So if you look at my Instagram, I'm constantly just telling the story of my clients. That's all I do. I try not to like rah me. I did X number of deals. I'm number one. I'm top what percentage. I'm not trying to make, hopefully like no one takes offense, but apparently everyone on Instagram is a top producer. That's not what I care. Like the messaging is not what I care to put out. So the other thing is, as it relates to social media, who are you talking to? Like, who is your audience and what do you want them to hear from you? I see all these interest rate charts and I don't mean to be like difficult, but I don't care what interest rates are. I don't. People, and what's helpful for me, and actually it's funny, my brother's in the room with me right now. He came up to visit. So his story is he was working with a different realtor that just completely set him up to fail. And we started working together. And the reason why my brother bought a house is because he really wanted to then quit his job so he can travel the country. And he knew that if he didn't buy a house first, it would be years before he would qualify for a mortgage. And by then he might have been priced out. So what did he do? He bought the house. It has appreciated a ton. He rents part of it out. It covers most of his expense. And him and his girlfriend, who are in the room with me, they just got back from traveling through Canada and the US in a van. So the thing is, if there's anything you take away from like my opinion, is that people don't buy or sell because of the interest rates. Like we live in a country where everyone has a expensive car. Everyone's okay with 20% credit card interest. Everyone gets a $1,500 iPhone once a year. And here we are thinking that our clients are economists. Like they're not. And so I don't care what interest rates are. I really sincerely don't, because the market's going to adjust. Like right now, what's happening and what I'm working on Michael, the lender with, I just shot him an example this morning, is, rate buy downs, right? We have to prep our sellers for the possibility of that. And I've actually had other realtors from other brokerages that just follow me on social media. They're like, hey, Ernesto, I totally agree. How do I explain that to my seller? How do I set those expectations? So there is a good opportunity in the market, but like, how do we explain what's possible? And so the math example that I sent Michael, and I'm just waiting for him to confirm it. If you have a $600,000 loan amount and you're trying to go from $3,600 payment to $3,200 payment, you can do one of two things. You can either do a price drop of about $63,000, or you can buy down a full point, which is going to run you somewhere between $6,000 and $10,000. That is way better. So how do we kind of partner sellers with buyers to get them into the payment that they need? Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, is the payment. Interest rates will fluctuate, right? And prices relative to interest rates, there's always going to be that balance. So I know I said a lot, but I really just don't care what interest rates are. It's my job to listen to my clients, see what they need, find out what their pain points are. To that quote, people move because their house is too small. They're getting a divorce. A baby's on the way. They got a new job. That's why people move. No one's tracking the market and like, okay, 30 days from now, we're going to sell because interest rates are going to be X, Y, and Z. Like, that's not what happens. So anyway, that's my perspective. I don't worry about interest rates.
Really, really good stuff. And I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I want you guys to do a quick audit of yourself. And obviously you don't have to do that right now, but do an audit of your social. Is your messaging all about them or all about you? Right? Is your messaging all about them, how they will be served, how they will be safe, how they will learn, how they will be educated, how they'll be protected, all those things? Or is it all about you? And you guys have seen this time and time again. You go on somebody's wall and it is just riddled with just listed, just sold, and oh my God, and look at me, and look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't fucking care how nice your car is or how nice your Fendi bag is. I get it. Buy yourself some nice things once in a while, but is your messaging about them and how you can best serve them, or is your messaging all about you? If you want to attract consumers, give them an ability to see how they will feel safe when they choose to work with you, Leah, when they choose to work with you, Carlos, when they choose to work with you, Bill. What is that experience going to be like before they even get to you? So, man, Ernesto, one more time, if you can drop that book in the chat below, and I appreciate that. So, you guys, let's start to come full circle on this. I put a quote out in an email earlier, and it says, success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving forward. They make mistakes, but they don't quit, right? When we talk about this business, it's really that simple. It's about action. It's about moving forward. So let's do this, you guys. I know we did the massive brain dump, but let's come full circle on this. We did a massive brain dump, unloading all the things that are going on inside of our wild minds, right? Then taking out, what are our focus action items for this week? And what are the things that I am going to delegate? A couple of the questions that I asked a few of you is, what is your superpower? What are the things that you don't love about this business? What are the things that you're procrastinating on in your business? Let's go a couple more. What is the bottleneck right now in my business? And how do I strengthen and how do I improve? And who could help me in this environment to get to where I need to be, right? I want to always on Mondays provoke some type of thought. I want to have clear intentions. I want to have a little bit of motivation, some inspiration, but I want to get your minds working. How many people wrote some things down in their massive brain dump this morning already? Anybody wrote anything? Give me a reaction down below. If anybody wrote something down for a massive, massive brain dump. Anybody? Okay. I want you guys, okay, 2 participants did. Sandy, all right, cool. Sandy, you mind sharing some of the things that you have written down in your massive brain dump?
It's kind of, I guess I can. They're just, I don't know, regular old things, tasks. But okay, so I need to follow up with a listing agent today for a spot my client wants to put an offer in that's due tomorrow, to see how things went over the weekend. I need to get groceries. I need to do my laundry. I need to figure out the closing timeline for the second transaction of this buyer accepted thing I did. And then there's like a whole bunch of other stuff just like that.
Okay, so see that, like the fact that she's able to now look at it and be like, okay, cool. What are the things that I truly, truly need to focus on? Yeah, I probably need groceries. I probably need that. Focus action items. And then what are the things that I can truly, truly delegate? I promise you guys, this exercise allows you to take everything that's going on and speaking to you, and oh my God, I got to do this, and like get it out. And then have your focus action items and then the things that you can delegate. I promise you, if you guys do this every Sunday or every Monday, it'll help you look at your week a little bit different. And then it's just like, okay, let me look at my focus action items. And now let me take it a step farther and let me look at my calendar. How many of these things that I know that I need to do, that I've thought about, that I've now wrote down, and that are super, super, important to me, are they on my calendar? Do I have a deadline? Do I have some pressure? Like put those things on the calendar. Sandy, I appreciate you sharing. So let's do this, you guys. Let's go full circle. Let's go around the room. I want to hear a couple key takeaways before we wrap up on this beautiful morning. I'm actually going to go to you, Leah Moore. Leah Moore, key takeaways from today's session.
A lot of good things were said today, and I actually, sorry, I learned a lot. Like every time I'm on these calls, I learned so much, and that's why I love coming to them. And yeah, thanks everybody for sharing, because I feel like I can connect with a lot of you, and like a lot of what you say is just, it really resonates with me.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you speaking up. I know this environment is a little intimidating at times to get on the mic and speak, and so I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your insight and your input. Chris Edwards, want to thank you again, brother, for the tickets to the Academy of Sciences. my boy came through to San Francisco and hooked me up over the weekend. But Chris, let me hear from you, man. Key takeaways from today's session.
Is basically stay on your information, man. Just so you could know what's going on, you can stay in the game. I appreciate what people were saying, that interest rates really don't matter, because we got to get you into a home ASAP. So we need to focus on letting them think that type of way. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the superpower, I think you used the word earlier, but I was going to use it. But empathy, man, you gotta empathize with these people. You need to understand what they're going through, and once they see that you understand them, it's a whole lot easier to form a relationship. And it's pretty much it. So I'm in traffic, yo. It's a lot going on. So
it's all good. Hey, Chris and Eric, man, remember when Chris first started out with us? I mean, Chris is, you can't take a boy out the hood. You can take a boy out the hood, but can't take the hood out the boy, right? Like, Chris is like, your messaging is just, I mean, hey, we are who we are. We're from where we're from, but man, you've taken that and then you've like perfected your verbiage and your press, or like the way that you communicate, bro, in like a completely different way. You're still Chris Edwards, bro, but like, man, growth, much growth, bro.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody here, Team Fast members, all the leaders. You know what I'm saying? You guys are all a part of this, and I'm a part of your growth as well. So I just want to thank everybody. I love y'all, man. Appreciate it.
That's right, bro. Appreciate you. Maria Domingos, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's session together.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am here in our Sacramento office. Hello, everybody. Woo-hoo. We have furniture. What's up? So all three of us were muted or not videoed because we're driving. Okay. So my key takeaway actually is of course, consistency. Like, I think of my superpower, and I think me personally, I'm very engaging. Like, I welcome everyone in. I mean, this weekend I did an open house and I was supposed to be gone by 2. I literally left almost at 4 o'clock because someone came in at 2 and we started to have this conversation. And yes, they're looking to buy. Yes, they're my client, but it was all about, who are you? Like, what business do you have? How can I support your business? So we went down that rabbit trail. And for me, the one thing that I would say that I don't necessarily like is the administrative part. Like, I have leads, I don't put them in. So I need to utilize our VAs. I need to utilize a high school student who wants to make a few dollars per hour to input that, and also to categorize my leads. Because I'll follow up with everybody, and then I get overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I got to follow up with everybody. Well, not everybody needs my attention. Not everybody needs my attention. It's we used to have a saying in recruiting, we're dialing for dollars, right? You want to work closest to the dollar. So yes, you want to talk to somebody who's going to buy in 6 months because you want to be top of mind, but you totally missed out on a person who wants to buy in the next 2 weeks. So I think for me, that's my big takeaway, that I do need to delegate some of the areas that I don't do well in, and I don't want to do. And that's my bottleneck. My business will only grow. There's this saying, I'm sorry. There's this saying that your business will only grow to the point of whatever that thing is that's stopping your business, like that bottleneck, what is it called? It's like the weakest link. Your business will only grow once you get on the other side of that weakest link. So.
And I love this because part of that, it's like, yeah, you're getting the leads. Well, now you take it to the next level, say, okay, how do I organize, compartmentalize these leads and categorize them based on who are my top clients, who are most likely to transact in the next 60 days, and who are the people that are 6 months, 1 year, 18 months out. So Maria, this is something that is important. Obviously, utilization of your CRM, whether it's Follow Up Boss, whether it's KB Core, or whatever it is, that system has to be running so strong so you don't miss out on those opportunities. So Maria, I really, really appreciate you sharing. Omar G, let's go to you, man. We're going to come full circle. Let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's session, and then we'll go over to Brenda. Let's hear from you, Omar.
Good morning, everyone.
Dude, you're super lean, bro.
I know. I think I'm like 62 days sober today. So I've been working out extra hard, and I think
really good, man.
Thank you. So my big takeaway was actually a little bit not like real estate related. It was, I think you said that, you know, we have to kind of, when we get caught up in like these like emotions and kind of like in these dark places in life, we have to remember that it's just a season. Like feelings are super temporary, and the way we're feeling today is not how we're gonna feel like next week. And just pretty much use all of that energy and motivation to like propel my business, and using that downtime to figure out strategies to kind of push my business forward. So that was my takeaway. This
I love
coaching.
it. And you know, whether or not you drink a lot, or whether or not you're, you know, if you're moderate drinker, like what are some things that you've noticed within yourself since you just stopped drinking?
My discipline. I've noticed that I actually do have discipline, so I'm kind of playing with that a little bit more. So I'm doing like a 75 soft, just to kind of give myself a little bit more discipline. And I'm excited to see like if I can like discipline a certain area of my life, and like how I can discipline the different aspects of other things in life, you know, whether it be my business, my social life, my dating life. I'm just trying to see, you know, how far I can take discipline.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, Omar. So congratulations to you. I know it's challenging, especially with the society that we live in, but good stuff, man, and way to take that leap. Let's go to Brenda, and then we'll come full circle. Brenda, let's hear from you. Brenda Vega, key takeaways from today's session. Brenda Vega going once, Brenda Vega going twice, and we are going to move on. And let's go to Sophia. Sophia, I'm gonna have you wrap us up, full circle, key takeaways from today's session.
Yes, so I think that my key takeaway is to not let like small hiccups along the road deter you from like where you're going. I've had a tendency to kind of get thrown off by small things along the way sometimes, but just the reminder that just persistence is everything. Just remembering your goals instead of focusing on, you know, what has gone wrong, and just focusing on the path ahead.
I love it. Wow. Wow. Yeah, embrace it. We're all gonna fail. You know, I wrote this down. There's nothing normal about winning. Winning makes you different, and winning scares people. Winning is inside of all of us, but for most, that's where it will stay, trapped under a lifetime of fear and worry and doubt. So time to let it go and go out there and win. So I appreciate you guys. And Adrian, once again, I'm sending you huge hugs, light, love, and energy. Appreciate you sharing and being open and being vulnerable. Appreciate you guys being here and just, you know, having these thoughts and these insights. But what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to do the work. Every single day that we're on group coaching, take one thing out, just one thing, right? And then say, okay, let me do this brain dump. Or one thing, I'm going to ask myself these questions, or I'm going to reach out to somebody that had a superpower that I don't have, and I want to connect with that person because I feel I can help them and they can help me. Like, come together, right? Like, take one thing out. Don't just have this on and not do anything with it, right? It's like going to an event and not doing anything with what you heard. So go out there, own your week, you guys, have some fun. If you need anything, I'm available. I'll be working, let's say part-time this week because my mom comes into town tonight. Lily's here, so I'm going to spend some family time, but I still will be working. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Judith, if you can stay on for a couple minutes afterwards, I would appreciate that. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm more grateful than you guys will ever know. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for being here. Peace.